generosity. Let's get into it. Well, let's start at the bottom level here.
Okay.
So for those of you who are like, well, generosity, what? Like, what are you even talking about? Just the meaning in the dictionary is a willingness to give help or support, especially more than is usual or expected, which I
so good.
love that generosity is not just about money and finances.
Yeah.
That is absolutely a part of it, but it is so much more than that. The opposite of generosity, which is kind of what you were talking about, that scarcity mindset or a poverty mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Poverty mindset is living in scarcity and being always afraid that there's never going to be enough, that there's not enough resources for you, there's not enough business. It's living in a fear that things aren't going to work out for you if you don't hold on tightly to everything, and that even what you have now can be taken from you at any moment, and wealth is going to always be a little bit beyond your reach. So it's kind of the opposite of generosity. It's almost a fear-based mindset that there isn't enough for everybody. There's not enough business to go around. There's not enough finance to go around. And that's really a hard way to live.
Yeah. And I mean, the heart of the matter of it is that we learned how to be generous in our family and our personal life. And then when I created a business, we kind of already had that muscle flexed and had already seen breakthrough in the area of our finances, that when I started a business, I immediately knew, okay, I have to be generous from the start. I can't wait until I'm making tons of money or I have that measure to pour back into other people or to be generous with other people. So from the get-go, when I started my business, even when I was just flipping furniture out of my garage, I gave 10% away. And I've just seen that grow, like as I've had more income come in, I've been able to give away more and give away more resources, and it's just compounded things.
I really think it is universal. These principles of generosity, of giving away, putting out into the world what you want to get back. And it's definitely not a giving to get mindset. It's a heart posture of just kind of not holding on to your time, your resources, your encouragement so tightly, but to just release it and give it away. And I believe you're going to get back eventually. Maybe it won't look the way that you expect it to, but I truly believe in that reaping and sowing type of mindset. So,
and it is really opposite, I think, to the mindset you hear in business a lot, and what, the gurus will tell you and what the world will tell you is that you have to hold on tight and you have to have everything in order, and your business needs to be really profitable before you can ever think about giving things away, that you need to keep investing in yourself and hold tight, and there's never going to be enough. And it's that like scarcity mindset.
Yes.
That you have to keep it all for yourself because you don't know like when the brand partnerships are going to stop, or if you're going to make any of your money back on this piece of furniture that you're flipping. And the world would tell you to like hold on tight and get every dollar that you can for yourself. And I've just found that actually being more fruit and being like, it's not even mine to begin with. It's like God has blessed me with it, so I'm just going to give wherever he tells me to give, has just created just like a freedom and a joy and an ease in my business and in my ledger, which doesn't seem like it would make sense in the natural, but it really does.
Last year, my husband lost his job and was unemployed for 6 months. And prior to that, I had started my business, I want to say 6 or 9 months before that. And the first time I got a paycheck for Spark Creative, I felt like I was just supposed to give it all away. I gave the whole thing. And yeah, that was probably like 9 months. And then 9 months later, my husband lost his job and was unemployed for 6 months. And during that time, my income doubled over where it was last year. And we were able to make it through that time of him being unemployed. With my income.
Didn't miss a house payment.
No, we didn't miss any payments. And actually, at the end of the year, when we were doing our taxes, we weren't even that far off from the year before. Things are always taken care of.
Yeah.
When we've been generous, whether it's friends helping us, our community, the people that we've given to, giving back to us. It works in so many different ways, and it's never the way I expect, but God has always just been so faithful when we have lived our lives generously.
Yeah. Still, your initial reaction is like, well, we have no money coming in, so we're not giving. We're not going to give right now.
Yes.
It's stretching. We have to just hold everything tight and hunker down and have that scarcity mentality. And it's just, it's not, it does. I think it's like a muscle. And so it does get easier, but there are times when you are stretched beyond what you have capacity for. And you just have to trust and walk forward in it.
But I know you also have a business.
I have a huge business testimony. In 2019 is when I decided to become a full-time content creator. And at that point, I had some videos do well. So I was monetized on YouTube. So I was probably making, I don't know, I think it was like $500 a month or maybe $1,000 a month, because I had a video that was kind of just getting so many views. And it was the only thing bringing in money because I wasn't even consistently making videos. But when I decided after going Haven, came home in August or September and said, okay, I'm going to go full time. And I was making one video a week until the end of December. And so still, I wasn't making any additional money than that money I was making off that one YouTube video. So I think at the end of the year, we had created a separate banking account for me at that point. I think I had $4,500 in that checking account. And our church was in the process of, we were in a facility that we were renting. And we were trying to purchase a building and redo a building over in Nashville and Metro Center. And they had already done like kind of a push for like, if this is your home and you feel led to give for this building, do it. And we had done it. And it was a pretty uncomfortable amount because we had felt prompted by God. God gave me and my husband the same number. And we're like, okay, we got to do it. So we had already given like big. It was a painful give, but it still felt good after doing it. And then in December, they were like, hey, we're in these really uncomfortable chairs, which Meggie can attest to it.
Yes.
Very uncomfortable plastic chairs. And they're like, we're going to be having to take these to the new building because we're being frugal. But if you feel so inclined, we're going to do, because every seat matters. Every person, every booty in a seat matters.
Yes.
So if you feel like sponsoring a seat, basically is kind of what they put it. We're going to do another push for that. So if you feel led to give, and immediately I'm sitting there being like, well, we already gave, God, so I know you're not going to ask me to give again. I'm a little sassy sometimes. And it just like dropped in my spirit. Like it was just so clear. He was like, I want you to give away everything that's in your business account. This time it was like the Lord kind of taking me to another level of like, your husband has led a lot along the way. It's time for you to step out in faith and believe me. And my husband's like, okay, if that's what you want to do, let's do it. And so we gave emptied out that bank account that day, wrote the check over. And, like you said, I don't give to get, but I was expectant because I knew the Lord wouldn't ask that sacrifice of me and how long it took to get that money in that account if he wasn't going to do something with it. So God has used that seed. Like I don't know exactly how he used it, but I know he used it to reach people's lives. And I know it was for a soul and a person who is sitting in a seat every Sunday, or that might, be sitting in a seat one Sunday. So I don't know exactly how it got used, but I definitely know it got used. And then 2 months later, I just had 2 videos that went cuckoo bananas on my YouTube channel. And then a month later, COVID hit and it just sustained that jump I had from those 2 videos. And for that whole next year, I was making anywhere from like $6,000 to $8,000 a month just off of my content. I mean, not only did he replace that $4,500 that I did, he multiplied it by, I think like 10 or 15 probably, if I think about what I made in that first year.
That's, I think, what gets me excited to talk about it, because I just imagine the more people that have a heart for generosity. I mean, imagine if they use their influence to be generous and the ripple effect that would have in the world. I think sometimes our tendency is to sit back and wait for other people to do things, to take care of things. And when we say, no, I it starts here, like with me being generous just with those in my areas of influence. We talk about our areas of influence. If we can just be generous with the 5 people, you know, in our circle, and then they're generous with 5 more, it's that that multiplication factor could really make an impact in the world and in our communities and our places of business.